So, center of mass of a solid cone whose axis, uniform solid cone, whose axis is along the y-axis and whose base is at the center of the base is at the origin. Center of mass is on y-axis, which is at a distance h by 4 from the base. The center of mass height is h by 4. That is the height of the center of mass. That's how we calculate the center of mass of a solid cone. Next we go for center of mass of a solid hemisphere. Let us consider this also to be symmetric. It need not be always symmetric about y-axis, but you can also think of, you can try with x-axis symmetry, but here since we were considering other examples as parallel to y-axis, here also symmetric to y-axis we consider. Let us consider a solid hemisphere of radius r, radius of curvature r, mass m, and let the center of the base of the hemisphere be at the origin and symmetric to cone, the hemisphere is symmetric to y-axis. Let the arrangement be like this. For this arrangement, how to determine the center of mass of the hemisphere? For that, first observation is the hemisphere is symmetric about y-axis. Therefore, center of mass will have only y-coordinate but not x-coordinate. So, how to determine the center of mass in this case? Procedure is the same. Imagine the hemisphere be divided into slices. Slices are going to be in the form of circular discs. Imagine the given hemisphere be divided into circular discs which are perpendicular to the y-axis. Let us consider a circular disc which is at a height y from the base. Let the thickness of that be very small, infinitesimal thickness dy. So, the radius of the hemisphere is capital R. Capital R is the radius of the hemisphere. So, what about the radius of the disc? Let R be the radius of the disc. This is capital R. Then, how they are related? So, the equation of this line is x square plus y square is equal to r square, or radius of the sphere. Therefore, here radius of the sphere r is equal to r square minus y square under root. So, radius of the sphere we can obtain by this way because this is the equation of the curve. So, radius of the disk we can calculate like this. Then first thing is density of the volume density of the sphere, hemisphere. So, mass of the hemisphere is m and its volume is 2 pi r cube by 3, because 4 pi r cube by 3 is the volume of the complete sphere. The density, volume density of the sphere is rho is equal to mass of the hemisphere divided by its volume. Volume of the total sphere is 4 pi r cube by 3, but volume of the hemisphere is 2 pi r cube by 3. Therefore, this is equal to rho is 3m by 2 pi r cube. That is the density. Now, we have to, next step is to calculate the mass of this disk. Mass of the disk is, it's a circular disk, radius of the disk is r, therefore, area of the disk is pi r square, thickness of the disk is dy, this gives you volume of the disk into density gives you mass of the disk. This disk is symmetric to y-axis and is a uniform disk. Therefore, as per our convention or as per the concept we have developed, the center of mass of the disk will be at its center, which is at a height y. Therefore, the total center of mass of all the disks together which are making up the hemisphere is 1 by y integral y. Y is the mass, this location of the center of mass of this, into dm. 1 by m integral y dm. So, 1 by m integral y into dm is pi r square dy into rho. So, this is equal to pi rho by m integral r square y dy. As usual, here also both r and y are variable. How r and y are related? This is the relation, r in terms of y. Substitute it here. Therefore, pi rho by m integral r square. R square is r square minus y square integral into y dy. Now variable has become in terms of y. What are the limits of variation? All the disks are in the hemisphere ranging y coordinate from 0 to r. Therefore, limits are 0 to r. So now we calculate the integration value YCM. YCM is nothing but pi rho by m integral 0 to r square y dy, first integral, minus y cube dy, second integral. There are only two terms in the expression. So therefore, this is pi rho by m. This is r square into y square by 2. So r to the power of 4 by 2 minus r to the power of 4 by 4. The reason is y cube dy integral is y to the power of 4 by 4. 0 to r, upper limit is r to the power of 4 by 4. Lower limit value is anyhow 0. So from this pi rho by m, r to the power of 4 by 4. R to the power of 4 by 2 minus r to the power of 4 by 4 is r to the power of 4 by 4. But rho value we substitute from here. Pi by m r to the power of 4 by 4, this we have written, rho value 3m by 2 pi r cube. M gets cancelled, pi gets cancelled here. One of these out of r4, 3r cube is cancelled. Numerator is 3r, denominator is 8. Therefore, YCM is 3r by 8. When the hemisphere is uniform solid hemisphere, symmetry to y-axis, placed with base at the origin, x-axis, on the x-axis with the origin, then y-coordinate of center of mass will have only y-coordinate whose distance from the base is 3r by 8. YCM is 3r by 8. Next we calculate the center of mass of a hollow hemisphere. How to determine the center of mass of a hollow hemisphere? Center of mass of a hollow hemisphere. Here also we consider a uniform hollow hemisphere and let it be symmetric to y-axis and whose base is at the origin. Center of the base is at the origin in the on x-axis, symmetric to y-axis, and this is hollow hemisphere. Let the mass of the hemisphere be m, r be the radius of curvature be r. Now the mass is not throughout the hemisphere, only on the surface of hemisphere mass is distributed. Mass is distributed only on the surface. Therefore, first thing is density here. Density, since mass is distributed on the surface, it is surface density or areal density. Mass of the hemisphere divided by surface area. Surface area is 2 pi r square because 4 pi r square if it is complete sphere. Sphere surface area is 4 pi r square, but it is hemisphere, its surface area is 2 pi r square. Therefore, mass of the hemisphere divided by its surface area gives you areal density. Next one is imagine the given hemisphere into elements. When we imagine that be divided, we can imagine the hemisphere be divided into circular rings. Circular rings along the whose axis? X-axis. That is, the hemisphere can be imagined to be divided into circular rings. Consider a ring at an angular position theta with the y-axis and the ring is subtending an angle d theta at the center of the curvature. So let the hemisphere be divided into circular rings perpendicular to axis, perpendicular to coaxial to y-axis. Consider one